Good morning. So today, I need to go get my hat. Today what we're gonna do is I want to fill these pots up with soil and get maybe some flowers planted in there. We'll see, maybe some cilantro, maybe some of the stuff that I've already started that's already grown, that's inside the greenhouse. And then I want to show you guys how I make my mix for my seed starting to fill my module trays. And the excess soil that comes out from where I've started the seeds in the little containers, I have put in these plants because I don't really care if the seeds that didn't germinate when they needed to end up germinating. I don't really care if they end up in here because this will just be kind of like a bench but with potted plants. Because this, I used to have the cinder block running along at like a walkway because I have asparagus planted in there, and so my husband said that if I didn't border it, he'd end up stepping over the asparagus. So that's what I had initially done. Yes? Okay, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. That's what I had initially done, and then just a few days ago I changed it up and put the cinder blocks, stacked them up, and then put a 12-foot long 2x4, and then I put some trunk pieces of wood to support the center of it. So we'll bring you along for that. And I want to also water the garlic today and maybe get some stuff planted in these beds. Maybe some cilantro so I can reach my goal of having a whole field of cilantro, because it won't last too long before it starts bolting. So that's what we're gonna do today. So while Azariah is over there banging on everything he can find and messing with all the screws, because he just likes to carry that screw gun around everywhere. He's gonna be such a great help. He already is. So I'm gonna water the garlic with some fish water that one of my friends gave me, and then I'll show you how I make my seed starting mix. Okay, so seed starting mix. This is gonna be my measuring cup, a 5-gallon bucket. So I do equal parts of each. Here we have Sphagnum peat moss. I get this at Home Depot because it's the cheapest. You could also get it at hydroponic stores. At your local nursery store, probably they have it, but it is going to be more expensive. At Home Depot, I bought this for maybe $11.90 something or $10.90 something. And here in this, no. Esa es la tierra de los gusanos. In this tote, we have the worm castings that my mom and I harvested from her worm compost system. So These are finished castings, which have worms, red wigglers, and even little eggs, little worm eggs. And so this is a soil medium that we use. You could also buy some at the store if you don't have worm castings. And actually you could also get worm castings maybe at your local nursery store. I think Home Depot might carry some. They're just really expensive because it is some really prime stuff.
Mommy.
Like, you know how you have a
Mommy.
choice, select, and prime on your meats? This is prime soil right here.
Mommy.
And then what I also use, ¿qué es? Madera. Then what I also use is Vermiculite, which I ordered off of greenhousemegastore.com. These big bags could cost you from like $40 to $60 if you get them locally, or but we ordered in bulk on greenhousemegastore.com for $25 a bag. So that's where I would get this stuff. You could also use perlite. It serves the same purpose. So the purpose for this, although a lot of people say you don't need nutrients on seedlings, I'd like to give my seedlings nutrients. That's what this is. That's what the worm castings are for, or your potting soil or whatever you use. The Sphagnum peat moss helps to retain moisture, but this does have to be nice and wet before you start using it in your seedlings. So you might want to pre-soak this before you're gonna use it. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna mix the Sphagnum peat moss first with the vermiculite and wet it before I add the worm castings, because there is live worms in here and I don't want to kill them, because I love my red wigglers. No estés tirando esta tierra, ¿ok? Allá hay tierra y allá en tu sandbox hay tierra. Si quieres tirar tierra, ¿ok?
Okay.
Bring it back.
Huh?
So this is to retain moisture. Watch the camera. And this, the vermiculite or perlite, for some people use sand, just sand is a lot heavier, is for drainage, so the water doesn't, no. All right, let's put this out of reach. So there is proper drainage, so that's what this serves a purpose for. That or perlite or sand. Just sand is heavier, like I said, but the perlite is a lot lighter. And actually, I heard somebody say you could find it in like the aisles at Home Depot where Azariah? No.
Yes.
Or I guess people use it for like insulation in homes and stuff. So you could ask wherever you go, your big box store, I think that's what they call them. You can go and ask them. Hey!
Okay.
So I'm gonna make a big batch because I'm gonna get ready to do some summer crop starts, like tomatoes, squash, cucumbers, and I'll type in a list for you guys. So I'm gonna do equal parts of this, of all my 3 ingredients, but first just the 2. That way I can mix it and soak it. there's the mix to our seed starts. And here I put the Sphagnum peat moss so I could pre-soak it. That way when I need it next, I don't have to moisten it as much as this needed to be. So now I'm gonna clear this area. It used to be a raised bed, a raised bed that I made with pallet wood. But I have different plans for the backyard. Well, this part of the area. I want to build an outdoor shower right there, and I want to make a pond over here. So that hopefully, Lord willing, we'll get started in maybe April. We'll see. So now I'm going to take the soil that's here. This is good soil. And I'm going to give it a nice little soak and put it in some black pots so I could put seedlings in there. Flowers, veggies. I'll see what I put in there. But I'm going to remove this dirt from here. Ready, set, go! Or like the kids say, ready, steady, go. So these used to be my worm towers. So the idea from this is a 3-inch drain pipe that was initially 10 feet long. And we had used it for a different purpose at first. And then I did a different system. So these were, I cut these and then I drilled holes in these. So this is kind of like a compost in place. You could come and put your food scraps in here, and the worms could come in through these holes and come and feed on the compost. So you don't have to put your food scraps on your actual plants. This would be where you would put them. So that was the purpose of these. And now there's worms everywhere, so I got designated compost bins. So we just brought all these plants out from the greenhouse rat-proof rack.
You're the sunflower.
And these are some that I had transplanted on the 3rd of February, so about a month ago. And some of them had gotten frost damage, like this. Looks like it was done.
What was that?
the Gypsophilia covent flowers. So only these that are here made it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna transplant them, and hopefully they survive out here, and if not, it's okay. Because most of the plants in here are not here. So I don't want it taking up space on the seed rack. Because I could be putting other stuff in there. And so a couple parsley survived, so I'll just be planting all of this stuff out here. And I transplanted these chives from that bed I was getting the dirt from. This is some oregano that I split up because my front door neighbor had given it to me in a pot, and it was already all root bound. And so the cool thing about the oreganos and a lot of different plants is that you can take them out of the pot and split their roots and divide the plants. So that's basically what I did here, and so this thing is just flourishing. And I've shared some with my mom.
Everybody.
And I've planted some at the base of my trees. And so this is one oregano plant that my mom had gotten from her front door neighbor. And so we split it up also, except this, we just split this one up. So I hope it comes back. The roots bring it back to life. So I see some green in there. So hopefully it comes back. And here I planted some extra flower plants that I didn't feel like transplanting because it was just so many. So I put them in here, and they're down there.
I plant
So I'll probably plant more flowers in here. And so I'll be planting sunflowers and maybe some veggies in there. But we brought this other tray. So these are sunflowers.
Yay.
And Ellie insists we plant them because she was actually the one who started the seeds for those. And they didn't die in the greenhouse, and these didn't have any protection other than the plastic from the greenhouse, and they didn't die, so I'm pretty surprised. We'll see how they do out here, and if they do die, we have more seeds we can start. I just wanted to experiment to see how they could handle the cold. So you can do that whenever you're questioning something and there's not an answer for it, you can always try it. And so these are California poppy seeds. I won't be transplanting these. These will be going to the church garden. But these are turnips that I'm transplanting here at my house. And so I just want to transplant these because the rest of this tray is empty. What else? This is some cilantro I started from seeds. So basically with most of these trays except for this turnip, the turnips, the radishes, the peas, I started them in the pots. In the trays. So what you do with those is that you multi-seed sow. So you put, with the turnips, I think it was about 4 to 5 seeds per cell. So you directly sow the seed into here, rather than with like the parsley and just the smaller seed and like leafy greens and stuff.
Here, Mom.
I did a different method of seeding these, and then I transplanted them once they sprouted into here. So this is a whole tray of cilantro, and these are some I started way before I even did more research on how I was gonna seed start. And I started these too soon, so it took them a while, and then they didn't really germinate because the seeds need a warmer temperature to germinate. So that's what these didn't have, and that's why they're sparse. But that's okay, I'll just transplant all of these and also remove the space that these are taking up in the rat-proof rack. And here we have more cilantro, and this is actually, though it's hard to believe because their leaves seem like so fragile, the cilantro takes really cold temperatures. It'll survive. And that's something I will plant early on before fall, so I could plant it out when it's fall season, and it'll grow all throughout the winter. So that's what I'm gonna do this year. I really learned a lot. And this is dill. And we've got a little bit of parsley, supposedly. It looks like. Anyways, and here we have radishes, I believe, and some spinach. So same with this whole tray, I direct sowed the seed into here and waited for them to come up. So this is spinach, and I believe these are radishes. So we'll see. I think these are like, I don't know, these have gotten a little leggy and long, so I wonder how they'll do, if they will produce the bulb for the radish.
You're gonna make the hole.
So yeah, we're gonna put this on a time lapse and we're gonna start planting. So there we have it. I planted some very, 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 very sad arugula in here. It was on its deathbed and I planted it. Maybe it'll come back, but if it doesn't, it's okay. I can plant something else there. And then here, this is some peppercress that I had multi-sown back in like November. It has a really nice taste. Peppery. Almost like a wasabi taste. And this rosemary, I put it here because it had 2 roots on it, so maybe it'll come through and grow. This is either a spring onion or a chive. These might be chives. This is lettuce that I had also sown in like October. Some spinach that I sowed in January, multi-sown method. And this is an Egyptian spinach? Yeah, Egyptian spinach. This is Bloomsdale long spinach. So there's the radishes, actually spinach, but I also interplanted some radishes. Ellie, please don't
I'm
break that.
trying to record.
Oh. You've got who are you? How'd you do your makeup?
Black.
No. Who were you doing your makeup like?
Ariel.
Oh wow.
From Disney.
So radishes, we'll see how they do, because I don't know if they can bulb when their stem is up out of
No.
the dirt. Deja eso por favor, no quiero que lo quebres. And here these very, 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 very sad turnips too. We'll see how they do. Not there's always going to be plants that can replace the dead ones or the ones that are out of season. And here I planted some cilantro and more cilantro. I hope I get a good crop before it gets too hot. So here's some that I might take over to my mom's because I know we had planted some earlier on and some of them died, so we could replace them. That's why I don't mind planting extra. And look, we could harvest this seed. Homegrown cilantro is so much stronger. So beautiful. And so now I'm gonna cover it. I'm gonna put some hoop wires and I might cover it with insect netting and then frost cloth. That way I can take off the frost cloth in the morning. So I don't run the risk of them dying for sure. At least we could protect them because I got that stuff on hand. So we're just gonna go the extra mile. Oh, and here we planted the sunflowers. I might put frost cloth over these too, just to protect them. Because they're not used to being out here. Oh, I had interplanted some flowers too, and Ellie decided to put shredded paper keep them warm. What a nice little girl. And we have some parsley. And I'll plant this maybe tomorrow in my front bed, in a raised bed that's in the front. So I'll be planting cilantro and interplant dill, because over there it'll have shade for a longer period because of where the raised bed is located. So here is a good spot to plant in the fall for the winter crops, because they get nice sun here. And so, but in the summer, these will probably be the first to bolt, because these are winter, fall crops, and early spring. But yeah, finally got that out of the way. It had been long awaiting. So on to putting the hoops and the wires. Oh, this girl's on it. I hear the wires over there. She's getting the wires.